Okay, let's get straight to the points. I've canceled a lot of mini BRs before. So the first Island Zero, like season 3, was basically this one. After season 2, I got a lot better at doing creative, and I decided, hey, I'm gonna make a new Island Zero for season 3. Now, honestly, this was a pretty good map. There was a lot of things that happened. You could see over here, there was originally gonna be custom trees, but then the bushes kind of broke, you know, but it's okay. So this is Shady Shoreline. It was a combination of a old POI in Island Zero and an old POI in like a map of 4, which was called Zero Royale. Maybe I'll make another video on those, but you're not going to be seeing those maps in this video. Now, honestly, as you can tell, it's a pretty empty POI. It was better than Island Zero POIs, the original, but the POI was just empty. There was no props, there's no interiors. Oh, actually, no, there was interiors. Wow, I improved a lot. That's fascinating. But yeah, no, it just wasn't the greatest, but it was pretty cool. You know, it got to the point, it was just a town, it had elevation. Over here, you could see that there was originally going to be a snow biome. I'm going to put up the minimap picture, the concept art that I made for this, so you see it right now. And so there was going to be a snow biome over here, and you could see it's a very, very dense jungle. There were references to old Island Zero POIs, like over here, we had a cozy campsites landmark. Now, these whole mutator zones were actually for an entering landmark and POI thing. It is a bit broken now. I did make a video on it, like how to do a new one, but yeah, I was doing this for a while. Could see these shorelines were kind of inspired by the Titan Royale shorelines from Volume 2, if you know what that is. We have Hilltop Haven. This is a Savannah POI. Now, there was a very scuffed cave underneath that you could go through over here, so that was pretty cool. It was actually like, it was honestly pretty good for its time. The terrain too was actually really good too. It reminded me of what do you call it? Hunter's Haven. I thought that was pretty much the inspiration. I really like the building style, but it was pretty cool. Empty interiors again, like you could see. And Spawn Island was over here, and there was nothing really much here. There was a time where there was literal pieces of grass everywhere. This was supposed to be like Pencil Jar's map, if you know what that is. And there was grass everywhere. And grass costs a lot of memory for my 1.0 creators. If you're dealing with grass, I'm going to let you know, it costs so much memory. So be careful. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the first Island Zero Season 3. We hit 2,000 subscribers, which is a huge milestone for my channel, and I want to thank you guys all for it. I know I don't upload very often, you know, it's a pretty bad track record. But you know, that doesn't matter. When I do upload, I try and get the highest possible quality content out for you guys to watch and enjoy and share with your friends, so you can learn Fortnite creative and experience it in my point of view. Now, without further ado, we gotta continue this video because enough talking. Let's go look at Island Zero Overgrown. Now, this has to be one of my favorite Island Zeros that I made. This is the last one, I'm pretty sure, that I made, but honestly, this might be one of my favorites. Now, this was a very weird time. Like I said in the previous Island Zero, I was very into Pencil Jar at the time, so I was trying to replicate certain aspects of stuff. So in this map, you could see that I'm using a lot of these Chapter 1 pieces. Now, I'm gonna tell you, this also costs a shit ton of memory. All these different terrain pieces, lord, oh my god. Like, the memory was pretty high already for this map, and not even half was done. You could see, I do have the names, so we had Volcanic Valley, Modest Mineshafts, Wittrick Waterfalls, from Wittrick, if you guys are familiar, Mystic Mountains, Dirtless Docks, Oasis Orlando's, Graffiti Grove, and Matone Marone. Now, I am going to go to each one, even though there's nothing there, and explain what the POIs were, just so you could have a vision of what they were. We're going to start with Graffiti Grove. Now, this is when Condo Canyon stuff got added. This is back in Chapter 3, Season 4. And honestly, it was pretty good for its time. But the thing is, there was literally no graffiti. Like, there was nothing at all. So that was pretty cool. There was this bridge, a blue bridge. You know, it's not pretty. It's not a bridge anymore, but you know, it had its time. Now, but yeah, the Savannah was pretty cool. This is probably one of my best Savannahs that I did. out of all my maps. So that was cool. Now over here was Oasis Orlando's, or what was gonna be Oasis Orlando's. It was an oasis, that was for sure. It was right near the conversion of the jungle. And there was supposed to be this whole market under this giant mountain area. It was gonna be underground market. It was gonna be really cool. It's gonna use like the 7 pieces, like the jungle ones. But yeah, and this terrain was actually pretty cool. Like, I really liked it. But damn, it was a pain in the ass to do this. It was a pretty cool POI. Now you can see, this is some of the jungle. I was still almost exactly the same as the other jungle before. These bushes are still bugged in 1.0 for some bizarre reason. I do not like the color of these at all. Ew. But yeah, and this is honest, this POI made me scrap the map. This is editor Nico here, and I just want to clarify, I do hate this POI. I don't show it enough how much I hate this POI in this recording, but I hated this POI, and for the record, I did cancel the map for it. I'm 100% telling the truth in that recording. That POI made me lose interest in everything. It was terrible. Anyways, back to the video. Everything else is pretty mediocre at best. It was not the greatest. Now over here was going to be Mystic Mountains. Now, if you're familiar with the Battle Royale Fortnite Season 3, everyone knows the map, I'm pretty sure. I was going to try and recreate the Fortnite Mountain, or do something like that. I was going to make multiple of them, and I was going to have an entire town on the mountain. It's pretty cool. So you could tell these ideas were coming around Chapter 3, Season 4, where the most bizarre POIs, show some on the screen, were being made, like cloudy condos and stuff. It was just, my ideas were very bizarre and abstract. Over here was going to be Wittrick Waterfalls. It was going to be a canyon area with waterfalls coming out. It was a different take on the POI, but it was going to be pretty cool. And then Matone Marone. I actually forgot what this means, to be honest. It's something in Italian. If someone wants to translate it in the comments down below, do so. But it was something in Italian, and it was going to be a very, very big Italian-esque POI. Kind of like what's, if you know Stinkazoid, his map Frost Battle Royale, credit over there. Kind of like what Serene Shores is. I'll put a picture of that over here. So that's what this POI was heading to be. That was the concept. But yeah, it was pretty cool. This map honestly had lots of potential, but memory was very tight already. I was already at 50k, and it was not looking too bright. So yeah, that was pretty much it for Island Zero Overgrown. Now, I don't actually recall if I ever announced this to the public ever in a video or a community post, but this is Island Zero Altered. It doesn't say it over there, but this is Island Zero Altered. While my channel was dying off and I had no idea what I was going to do with Wittrick after I canceled more than 3 of them, my last resort was to go back and recreate Island Zero, or alter it and kind of make a remaster of it. Now, I didn't want to create an entirely new map because I was really tired at that point, so I tried to remaster and redo some parts of the old Island Zero. Now, there isn't much to show, but I am going to show what is left. So we deleted all the nature over here, and we were going to update this POI, turning it into Greenhouse Grove. This was Sneaky Shoreline, but then we said, we're going to have to change some of the POIs. So Greenhouse Grove got created. I don't think we ever finished it, but it was a fairly large POI. It was not really much, but it looked better than most. It was unfinished. That's all I could really say. There wasn't really much of it left. Now, if you do remember the Galago announcement that I made almost a year ago, you will know Galago's still happening. Don't worry about it. But this was where some of the footage that I put in the video was from. With all these white trees and the POI Zektic Zero, I was making up names from day one, I swear. Wittrick and Zektic, what the hell? Exoka? That's for another day. But, yeah. So this white tree biome spanned across the entire map. If I do lag in this, it's because the memory is... I thought it would be higher. It's actually not that high. It's like, I think 70k, but the map gets laggy. But as you can see, it's just a pretty basic area. I could have made this a landmark if I wanted to, but honestly, anything could be a POI back in the day in 1.0. So, yeah, this was Zektic Zero. So, in the first Island Zero that I showed in this video, we had Shady Shoreline. It was a combination of Sneaky Shoreline and Shady Shipments. So, as you can see, that's where it went from. Now, Shady Shoreline was pretty cool, honestly. Honestly, one of my favorite POIs, I did have my, there very long-term friend of the community. Dubbin helped with the propping and stuff. Honestly, it still holds up, kind of. Yeah, it's pretty nice. And then Wittrick Waterfalls. Oh, Wittrick Falls. I did change it after a while, switch it to Wittrick Falls. I don't know why. I took out the alliteration, but that doesn't matter. It's basically identical from when the Season 2 of Island Zero came out, which never actually released because of memory. But yeah, it's pretty much identical. There is zero propping in the POI because it never fully got finished. There's some propping, actually. Wow. Some. It's very empty. But the waterfalls are pretty cool, and this was the first idea. This is where the whole Wittrick idea first started. I did change the trees. They used to be autumn trees, but they costed crazy memory. So we switched to the customizable trees, which honestly I think was the best bet. It looks pretty nice. Now, I forgot to say this. There are mutator zones. There used to be entering POI stingers, but they weren't really the best. Honestly, I should have made a tutorial sooner for myself to learn from. But that doesn't matter. There used to be some. Venus Vines. I don't know. I wanted this to be my Larry, the Larry guy from Nova Royale, if you guys know what that was. I kind of wanted to do my own spin-off for my Savannah, which was heavily inspired off of X Empire Savannah from X Royale Reloaded. But yeah, it was I really like the Savannah. I think it's pretty good. It's still holding up, I think. Kind of. HQ0 was, I don't know, I was not hitting with these POI names. Like, look at this. Cozy Campsites, Wittrick Falls, HQ0. I was not hitting with these POI names. Over here, we have Savannah Speedways. It explains itself. It's a speedway in a Savannah. This is honestly a pretty cool POI. It had good building designs and stuff. And I'm pretty sure it was also propped. Yep, it was propped over here too. See, I wasn't doing half bad here. And then, Bridgie Buildings. See, this wasn't the best POI. It used to be a different POI, but now it's just, yeah. Now, I did also have upgrade stations around the bench. There was a currency system, and you can upgrade your gun to higher rarities. There was also a crafting system where if you danced, you could craft new weapons, not upgrade them. And I think there was also a mechanic on Spawn Island. I'm not too sure if it's still here. Yes, the weapon shop. You're able to buy weapons at the beginning of the match before it started, and then you could land and already have weapons, and you could kill everybody off the bat. It was pretty cool. On Spawn Island, you see we have the little zones. This used to be really popular in BRs, where there was the center, south, west, east, and north zones, and you could choose where you want to land, because battle buses were not really a thing in 1.0 until 2.0 came out. There was some pretty cool mechanics in this. Nothing too crazy, but honestly, Island Zero Altered, it was a work in progress map. It never got finished, never got announced, never shown to the public, so now you get to see it for the first time. And it was pretty cool. There was something going for it. I feel like if I actually redid a lot of the terrain and stuff, it would be pretty cool. But other than that, it was cool. Compared to the other Island Zeros that I've showed you before, nothing crazy. But it was okay at best. I was just trying to revive it, but it didn't really happen. And you know, that's pretty much it for the Island Zeros. I don't really have much left to show for Island Zero. If you want me to show even more scrap maps, like bottom of the barrel, down, like never seen before, like when I was like 10 years old, comment down below, Exoca. EXOCA. I'm gonna put it up on the screen. Comment down Exoca. Please like and subscribe. It truly means a lot, and I'll see you guys in the next video.